just fly out in that area, won't lose sight of it. Cool. But yeah, if I'm getting close to anything, call it out. Because I'll be flying next to poles and stuff probably. So, yeah.
So you're flying a Hex, but it's two blades on poles.
That's right. Yeah.
Why 6?
Yeah.
So what does the propeller do for the navigation system?
Monitors the gyroscope that's on the board, and then it compensates. It talks to the speed controllers, which run the motors, to compensate for the flight and leveling of the whole unit. And it's also taking in all the signals that we're giving it from the radio and translating those to motor adjustments. So really, it's all flown by this different speeds of the motors. So the motors are adjusting their speed constantly, which is controlled by the propeller chip, and giving us the ability to fly with just the motors changing their speed. So there's no actual pitch difference in the motors at all.
What kind of frame rate are you using? Standard RC 50 hertz, or are you using higher frame rate?
Yeah, these on the radios are 2.4 gig radios. You know, it's a standard RC radio. Yeah, you just pick them up at a hobby store. Anything that you're using for flying will work.
Is 50 frames a second fast enough for control?
Frames a second? I don't really know what you mean by frames a second.
Pulse train, you know, 50 times a second. You know, each channel has
I don't really know the frame. I mean, it's what is this, servo communication pulse width. You know, the same as on a servo. So
yeah, because basically the RC controller is going to be sending 50 pulses, 50 control bursts of radio activity per second for each channel. So you're gonna have several different control channels, and so those radio bursts get demodulated into the servo pulses that we've been programming the basic program to send to a servo. But instead, they're going into the propeller, and the propeller is saying, "Oh, well, that's what they'd be telling a servo to do. I'm going to convert that into, DC motor control information." Are the motor controllers just transistors, or is there separate systems there?
They're FETs in there with the onboard processor. So they are modulating that PWM, and they're also getting feedback on one of the legs as well.
Okay.
So they're monitoring the 3 legs off that motor. One of them a feedback EMF, and then it's pulsing the motors, with that speed controller's, got the smarts in with its own processor to pulse those motors based on our communication to it.
Did the guy who designed the propeller system, did he mention why he decided not to just pulse the motors directly with the propeller? Because I know he could write, code could be written to do that.
You could do that. It's just a matter of having a bunch of the FETs to handle all the current and power going out to the motors.
Okay.
So, I mean, he made a small board. It wasn't really designed for motor speed control, but it's absolutely possible to do exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I was just curious what his reasoning was. I guess it was size.
It's size. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is your controller is pulsing your speed controllers a lot faster than 50 hertz.
Oh,
that's way too slow for a quadcopter. You've got to have at least 100 hertz, maybe 120.
Oh, the DC motors are probably getting pulsed at a kilohertz.
Oh, yeah.
Because the idea is when you're controlling a DC motor, you're sending it a series of high and low signals. And if you assume that you're sending it 1,000 times a second and it's high for half the time, that's equivalent to giving the motor half of the supply voltage. If you're sending a high-low signal and it's only high for a quarter of the time and low for 3/4 of the time, that's equivalent to giving it a quarter of your supply voltage. And that's how you control the speed of the DC motor.
Easy, go forward. Good elevation. You're 20 feet over the trees. There you go. You're 40 feet. There you go. Up and out.
Okay, far ballsier than I would have been.
So this one, you get the flag. That's right.
Now just get a a nice view of the area.
Every kid can have one.
You used to have to pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
Where you fly?
It's way up there, over there. I'm coming back kind of towards us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure.
The propeller is
That'll take.
Oh my goodness.
Nope.
Based on the accelerometer, whether or not it's,
Kind of hard to see that screen sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if the controller.
Kind of find the sweet spot, and then you have to. Well, yeah, you do. I just like have like well, it is auto level. I think I could fly better than make it fly.
you have to trim everything.
You can trim it, but I don't trim it. I leave all my trim centered, and then I just kind of. I've been flying it for so long that I kind of know what it'll do.
Yeah, how much did you do?
Well, no, you kind of just have to find like the right level and it'll stay.
No, it will.
Yeah.
The real ones, you can't do that. You have to constantly be flying.
No, they're just orange and then blue on the bottom of it. Blue really sticks out, so. First. My bad. Give one of these.
Can it spin?
Yaw? Yeah, I can yaw, but you don't want to yaw because otherwise it'll get disoriented. If you lose the orientation, you'll go crash. That's why we got the orange LEDs on the bottom so at night they really stand out in the day. They really don't want to see them. All I care about is the front. The blue is really bright. During the day, right now you can get the sky. You can see the blue more like this. You can yaw, yeah. It's just like a plane. You have your elevator, aileron, throttle, and rudder. Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
If you wanted to get an aerial shot of yourself, you could fly next to him and he could see you on the monitor.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. Whenever we get aerial shots of the quads flying, we both set up for FPV. We put a camera on them and just record what we're seeing and follow each other.
Now, how long will it fly?
So do you have mounts for like mounting like a little digital camera on there?
Yeah, on the bottom there's a video on the bottom. Yeah, GoPro mount and then Silva mount.
But without anything.
You gotta see them on the bottom there. But yeah, we have a lot of video from flying around a lot of places.
Is that easier or harder than the quad?
It will crash. It's about the same. The only difference in this one is that it's a little more stable and you get more payload. So this one I can put 4 times on it.
But you don't sell those yet, right?
No, I'm working on it. I'm about done with the kit. So the kit, this upgrade kit, will be available at the end of August.
I mean, it's really, you're driving up,
So yeah, I'm working on it. That's a cluster on my desk.
pretty cool. Because it kind of looks like but yeah, it's
Exactly.
exactly. I've seen where they've had 2 or 3 years, they have whatever they are. We've been doing all these kind of things like
Yeah, it's daytime. It's daytime. You can see those everything. At night.
So does this have